It has been an interesting season of The Mandalorian, to say the least. And with last week's episode setting us up for a truly grand finale, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about what I think might happen in this week's finale. Of course, everything I'm about to say is nothing but pure speculation, bordering on wishful thinking, but it's always fun to ponder on what ifs. I'm Zach from the Five Nights Tavern, and today I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the Season 3 finale of The Mandalorian. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the most obvious prediction that I've seen floating around, and the one that I personally want most to come true. Grand Admiral Thrawn appearing. Now, at first glance, I know it seems kind of like a long shot, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to me. Gideon is clearly advancing his own plans for greatness, and we clearly saw his skepticism for Thrawn during that Imperial Remnant meeting in the last episode, basically hand-waving Captain Pellaeon away for preaching Thrawn's return. At this point, I think that Gideon believes Thrawn to be dead, and has thrown away any idea of this heir to the Empire showing up and leading the fractured Empire back to glory. Hence why he continues his own plans for conquest. Not just for Mandalore, but perhaps the galaxy. What better way to prove Gideon wrong than for the man himself to arrive in his moment of triumph, annihilating Gideon and perhaps inadvertently allowing our overwhelmed Mandalorian heroes a chance to escape, while also setting the stage for his role in the upcoming Ahsoka show that's just a couple of months away. Speaking of Ahsoka, her appearance has also been floating around in my head, but I find this idea hard to justify. And while not entirely out of the question, I can't really see a way for her to even know what's happening on Mandalore, much less coming to help out. I suppose her and Luke could just once again come and save the day, but let's be real for a moment here. That would be cheap at best and downright infuriating at worst. Another potential appearance that actually makes sense to me would be Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. Boba is at this point Din's friend, and he happily helped out at the Battle of Mos Espa during the Boba Fett finale. Fett has also previously helped Din rescue Grogu from Gideon back at the end of Season 2, so Finn and Shand arriving to help out just makes sense to me. He and his crime syndicate could be a great help to the embattled Mandalorian fleet, and could potentially turn the tide against whatever Imperial force is coming to wipe them out. I kind of hope it's just Thrawn coming to wipe them out, but it would be really cool to see Boba. Now, outside of making wild Hail Mary assumptions about characters that might show up, like suggesting that an older Cal Kestis might arrive or something like that, I think we're ready to move on past character appearances. One thing that I've been struggling to predict is how the Mythosaur is going to play into the finale. Surely they wouldn't tease a massive, awesome dinosaur and then not utilize it, right? Right? As of right now, my best guess is that it's going to rise up to rescue the Mandalorians as they make their last stand against Gideon's forces, perhaps killing those Praetorian guards and avenging Paz Vizsla in the process. Perhaps Bo or Din rides it into battle against Gideon, finally confirming who will actually rule Mandalore when this is all said and done. Thinking about Bo-Katan for a moment, myself along with a couple of my friends have been discussing the possibility of her dying at the end, and paving the way for Din to become the Mandalore. Up until this point, I've joked that Din is a main character that doesn't know he's a main character and or doesn't really want to be a main character. And that has been very true this season, with a lot of fans I've seen on social media going as far as to complain that Din isn't even the Mandalorian in his own show. Bo is. Din is hell-bent to serve her and help her reclaim the throne of Mandalore, going so far as to bullshit the Darksaber back into her hands and declare his unending devotion to her until her song is sung. At this point, Bo-Katan is kind of in Din's way from a character growth perspective, and may very well need to sacrifice her life for his to save the people of Mandalore from repeating the same cycle that they've been stuck in for thousands of years. The people of Mandalore don't need a Kryze or a Ren or a Vizsla to rule Mandalore. Those families have had their chance and have failed Mandalore more times than anyone can count. No, what they really need, is Din Djarin, a man who follows the creed to the letter, who wholeheartedly believes in the future of Mandalore, and who has never once backed away from doing what was right or what needed to be done. Din Djarin is the future of Mandalore. Bo-Katan is the past. If it's not already obvious, I'm super pumped for this week's finale. But what do you guys think? Agree with any of my ideas? Have any predictions of your own? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down below before the episode drops on Wednesday. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and as always, cheers.